Hey you guys, welcome back to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin. Today is Mushroom Log Day, and here they are. These are from the cuttings of my oaks that were done a little over a month ago, I would think. And my guests should be here. They're my son's in-laws, and so we're related. We have beautiful grandbabies together. And we did this a couple years ago. I do have video out already on the channel of when we did it the first time. They were teaching me because they already have mushrooms on their logs. So they were teaching me, and what happened was I think my spores were bad or something, because I don't know if they got overheated in shipping or what, but neither variety. I had Phoenix Oyster and warm Shiitake. So were the two varieties. And anyhow, I never got any actual mushrooms that I ordered off those logs. I got other wild mushrooms off of it, but I didn't eat those because I didn't know what they were. I did have one ID'd, and it wasn't really, it was like for tea or something like that, but it wasn't really something that I was interested in. Anyhow, so the cicadas are loud today. We'll be going into like music or background, or I can do a voice over on this. But while they're here, they probably would want to be respected and not have the camera on them. I may like have our hands on the logs or something, or the process, but not necessarily them on the video. I don't think that's something they're interested in. But before they arrive, I've got a few things to tidy up out here. I have let this become a bit of a hot mess while I was sick and whatnot. I was trying to mow grass and edge the other day. I just left everything in here. I had a chicken that was very sick and she passed. So, you know, that was on my porch. I've just got to clean this whole area out. And, and we just need some tabletop. So I don't know if we'll use this tabletop. I have a tabletop in my other porch that we can pull on over here and use as a workstation as well. But let me just tidy up a few things before they get here. Oh, also, my other hose split. So, was it like 2 days ago, I bought this 100-foot yellow 8 layers hose. So most hoses that were at that store were 4 layers. This is 8 layers. It shouldn't bust. So, okay. I might have to cut back a little bit of this cranberry hibiscus and get it out of the way. And then they're bringing a chainsaw as well. And yeah, okay. So that's it. Let me just get to tidying up a little bit of this work area. And then we'll do mushroom logs. Yay! So excited. We've actually been planning this for quite some time, and it just, one thing or another has been happening. And so yeah, it's here. Today's the day. All right, stay tuned. Here I just put some paraffin wax in a can in a water bath, and so it's just on real low. It's on 2, and I have brushes already dedicated to painting the mushroom log. This is what I've been using, the all-purpose paraffin blend. I've heard of people using honey wax, beeswax. Maybe that is even better, I don't know, or more natural. This is just something that was affordable a couple of years ago when I first went to do the first set of logs, and I still have a ton of it left over. So first we're going to cut off the ends of these oak pieces. and make them fresh. And we're looking for no growth of leaves or anything, no knots. We're removing all the branches. This is all oak. We're just making it as clean as possible. There's a big knot right there. We did end up moving the wheelbarrow right under there, so nobody had to put their fingers at all near the chainsaw. And wear safety glasses, you guys. These are the logs that we were finding adequate for the job. All right, here we are drilling the holes. We're making about a 6-inch apart with a diamond pattern, so you're alternating up, down, up, down. And I think Steve has a specific drill bit for this that only allows him to go about 1 inch or so deep. So that's pretty handy. And while he did that and we got the first logs, us ladies went ahead and started learning to work with the substrate. The spores are inoculated into this sawdust substrate. So this is mushroom mountain, shiitake worm. You see the bag right there. And then Phoenix oyster. Those work well for Floridians. And then this is like an inoculator plunger. And she just pushes it into the substrate and then pushes it a couple times into, you can see her pounding it right there in that log. And so she pounds it into the holes. And then we were using the end of the pencil to go ahead and push the substrate down a little bit farther, but it was pretty well packed. And then later I just, instead of grabbing the pencil off and on, I just used my finger to do it. So there you can see a little bit more close up. There she is. She's going to hit it a couple times and it's going to be in there. So there we go. Now we're into time lapse and you can see us get a good rhythm going. And that was a lot of fun. We make a good team, her and I. We do a lot of canning and other projects together. Okay, so now my wax is melted in the kitchen and I bring it out. It's in the sun and I'm using that little, I don't even know, it's a little fluffy end. It holds a lot of wax at one time versus those little cheap paint brushes from Home Depot. And so that's all I'm doing. I'm just dipping and covering all the holes. Anywhere where there might be a little bit of a branch or knot. Here you go. You're going to see me covering up this little crack in the log. You just don't want little potential areas where other spores or things can come on in. So I'm just covering that up. All right. So I'm using little U nails and removing those and putting those in, tapping them gently into the side of the log. I'm not the best at hammering there, but it's okay. I got used to the process after several logs. Oh, I totally forgot to go in the bathroom and check in the mirror. We had blowouts of mushroom substrate, mushroom inoculated substrate, just flying everywhere when hammering them in to the logs, the little holes. And yeah, we got sprayed everywhere. But anyhow, it's all done. It's fantastic. They got to go home with their warm shiitake and Phoenix oyster mushrooms. All right, so I just wanted to show you we split resources. So I had a lot of wax and I had the logs. They had the mushroom spores and the tools like chainsaw and the drills, which I probably have the drills, but they're at the airport. But anyhow, so my friends that are my son's in-laws, they came over, a husband and wife homesteading team, and we knocked all these logs out. Well, double this because we split everything. There are, for me, 3 Phoenix logs, mushroom logs, and you saw the process. And then over here, we have 4 warm shiitake logs. And so there were some things we did different this year. You live and learn. They've done it a lot more times than me, but I think I did a video about almost 2 years ago when, okay, you can't even see the mushroom logs back there now, kind of, but not really. The banana tree fell on it. So anyhow, these were the original logs that we had over here. And you can see where we put in, we bought mushroom spores that were in these little capsules. And as you can see, they went nowhere. Did nothing, nothing. Dried out. Of course, now the whole log is breaking up. And then we painted the sides of them, not only with wax, but my Phoenix had blue, and my warm shiitake, which is this one and this one, had a tan paint. But what happened, as you can see, this is a good prime example, is you know, the paint is wearing off. You really can't hardly see the paint color over time, and some of these logs can last for years. Look, there's some more. These are the plugs, and the plugs just, they never did anything for some sad reason. And they were telling me that also a lot of their spores did not create mushrooms out of that batch. I think we both ordered, but like a lot of times we combine orders to save on shipping or whatever. And for whatever reason, just we didn't get what we were wanting. And for whatever reason, you guys can just name it and try to figure it out. Your guess is as good as mine. But whether they got too hot, too cold, whatever it is, they have done extras, and then I've been waiting to get my trees done so I could do extra logs. And there's a couple changes. So instead we put on these metal tags, which was so much better. I already had them handy from when I bought them for the trees in the food forest. And then we just put a little hog tie nail or something, you know, the little horseshoe one. So we put those there. We didn't put wax on the end because, as you could see, it wasn't holding anyhow. We did, hold on, we did put wax on all the holes. We alternate about every 6 inches and alternate like a diamond pattern in there. And we did not use logs that had knots in them. Like this is like the most that we probably broke our rule on. But so this one had a little bit of a small stem we cut off, and I put wax over it to prevent any wild mushroom spores getting into there. But there was, well, let me just take you over there. Okay, so here's what we left for firewood. And you know, like you have to cut that out. You have to cut these big branches out. And you don't want, if you have ferns, you can't use those with ferns, and a lot of them had ferns. And so by the time you took them down, like this knot, you want to take that out, and that might have worked okay a little bit there, but you know, sometimes it wasn't worth it. And this had growth on it. This one split, who knows? Actually, I may use this as a way to prop them up, like well, I'd have to cut it here, so I can't show you right now. But you see how this makes a nice Y, and then I have another one that makes a nice Y, and I could put a bar or a board like a 2x2 or a 2x4 across, and then lean my mushroom logs up against that. That might be how I use these two, but the rest will go for firewood. These logs right here, I wasn't 100% if we were going to be able to use them. Some of them just, you know, were nicked up, or you know, if you do a thin log like this, you know, see how small it is next to my hand? So that might only give you a year or two's worth of mushrooms out of it. But if we go back here to the ones we kept, now I would have probably liked an extra inch or two. I think that's, you know, their sentiment too. You know, a little bit bigger. I think these tags are about 3 inches. So this is like just under 4-inch log. I would have liked to see 5 or 6 inches, but you know, it's free. It came off of my own tree. It's my own resource. So I was pretty happy about that. So I'm extremely happy to be restarting mushroom logs with 7 new oak. These are oak, not a water oak. I think this is live oak. And that makes a really good host. If you go to Magic Mushroom, Mountain Mushroom, Magic Mountain Mushroom, I don't know. I'll put it down below. I never can remember. But that's where all the spores came from. Oh, which I got to tell you about. Forgive me. I just had a coughing spasm, and I have to keep something on my throat. So I have a little Jolly Rancher actually in my throat, in my mouth. So here's something we did different also compared to the last set of videos we did on mushroom logs. We had bought those capsules, and you just saw that that didn't work very well. So this time we bought a bag, they bought a bag with substrate. So it's like a wooden mixture with the spores in it, and they keep it refrigerated and just use it as they need it. So they use that little push it tool. I don't have the proper lingo. And it pulls in the substrate with the spores. And then with the drill, you make the holes, and then they popped the top of it, and it pushed the substrate right into the log. And then I use paraffin wax, but you can also use beeswax, and I think there's other types of wax. It'll probably all be on their website. They are the pros, not us. Technically, I'm still very much so in the learning phase, especially since I had a failure on my first time. But, you know, that's part of life, and homesteading and being more self-sufficient is learning the new skills. And even though I'm in a suburban setting, it's still something else. I mean, I could have years worth of free mushrooms here, and you can too. So just if you know a tree trimmer, or like I noticed, if you're in Brevard County on US 1, there's a company that is a tree trimming company, and they just have wood out there, and you can probably buy all the logs you want off of them. They'll be happy to sell it to you. I suppose you can check the dump. I don't know if that's worthwhile. You might not know what you're getting. But I know these are from my trees. I'm really happy that's a free resource for me, other than it cost me money to get them trimmed, but I was getting them trimmed anyhow. So super happy. Those bags of spores and substrate are usually in the $20 range. But they might have gone up since I last bought. So maybe $30 tops. There's a couple little tools you may want to buy that make the job easier. That's fine. Or you can do it, you know, maybe be resourceful and find a different way for yourself. But I'm just telling you, like, well, having 3 of us, first of all, was super easy. We were each on different jobs, and then these metal tags are going to be the bomb. I just love that. And you guys, I'll let you know, be sure to subscribe to the channel, so when we finally get spores, I mean, it could be 9 months, it could be 18 months, but when we finally get spores going, mushrooms going, you're going to want to be there and see it with me. So you guys, with that being said, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.